there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I say is alleged and in my very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. So we have to get into an article, you guys, that was written by none other than Crystal Jordan. So it says the following. It says that it is time for a Love and Marriage Huntsville recast. So let's get into it. Love and Marriage Huntsville was created by reality mastermind Carlos King, based around principal married couple Martel and Melody Holt, now Melody Cherie Rogers. The young couple embodied every quality needed for the recipe of a coveted power couple. Melody and Martel could have been doubles for an African-American version of Ken and Barbie, with 3 adorable children to boot. Not only was Melody beautiful, but she was also smart and business savvy. Martel was the epitome of masculinity, but he was more than just physically fit. He used his muscles on construction sites as an entrepreneur. The entrepreneurial couple were the charismatic leaders of a group of like-minded couples titled the Comeback Group. Melody and Martel appeared to be the picture of perfection, but upon closer inspection, the marriage was a complete lie. Martel had been entering an extramarital affair for years and developed feelings for his mistress. Melody was tired of covering up her husband's infidelity and had grown resentful of his constant lies. The initial couples that joined the Holts for the premiere season consisted of 2 affluent brothers, Marceau and Maurice Scott, and their wives Letitia and Kimmy Scott. The Scotts fit the definition of power couples, also both brothers being entrepreneurs with attractive and educated wives. It was clear during the first season that Martel and Melody's marriage was doomed to fail. When the inevitable happened, it proved to be the downfall of the show, and nothing has been the same since. The Holt's issues were a foreshadow of what was to come. Martel did more than just cheat on his wife. He fell in love with his mistress and ended up getting her pregnant while on reality television. Fed up with Martel's cheating ways and embarrassed by his out-of-wedlock child on the way, Mel pulled the final plug on the marriage and divorced him. Well, actually, she got pregnant, though, after... You know what? We'll talk about this in a second. The fallout from the Holt's divorce affected the dynamic of the show like a cascading house of cards. Besides the repetitive rumors about the Scott's husbands cheating also, without Martel and Melody as a combined force, the dynamic of the show faltered. Melody resented Kimmy and Letitia for their reactions to Martel's cheating, and Marceau and Maurice overcompensated to separate themselves from Martel's bad behavior. The Comeback Group dismantled, and it wasn't long before everyone was just at odds, even on rare occasions, the blood brothers Marceau and Maurice. Melody took a note from Sierra's hit song Level Up and focused on her children and her business, while Martel struggled to manage his 4 children with ex-wife and new son with his former mistress. Well, she still is his mistress. The Scotts struggled to protect their marriages from the threat of possible infidelity while trying to maintain some type of relationship with both Martel and Melody for the sake of the show. Lies. Melody continued on her solo journey, and the relationship with Kimmy and Letitia became more strained every season. Carlos added another couple, Melody's friend, Destiny, and her then-husband, LeBaric Williams. Keeping on brand with the entrepreneurial theme of the show, Destiny owned a local beauty supply store, Madani. Instead of uniting the cast around the new couple, Destiny and LeBaric's marriage ended immediately, and he left the show without explanation. Somehow, Melody and Destiny's friendship disintegrated, much like her friendships with Kimmy and Letitia. Carlos added another couple, Tiffany and Louis Whitlow, to the group, but the dysfunction of Melody and Martel's divorce had become the culture of the show. Tiffany and Louis left before they could gel with the audience, concerned that the show was threatening their relationship and mental health. Oh, but Carlos King said it was because of the millimeters. Oh, I can't wait to get into this. Most couples on Love and Marriage Huntsville have dysfunctional family dynamics. Carlos added 2 additional couples, successful product queen STORMI Steele and her husband, former pro basketball player, stop it, Courtney Beasley, and Chris and Nell Fletcher.
Although at this time, Melody and Martel's divorce had been final for several seasons, their toxicity continued to spread throughout the cast, creating division. Group trips and conversations were overshadowed by the couple's bickering and desired for allegiance at all costs. Nell and Chris Fletcher tried to help their friends find a common place to co-parent, but instead of finding synergy, it drove a wedge between them and their old friends. In one last-ditch effort to sync ratings with fan loyalty, Carlos brought in a scandalous character in Sonny Meeks and a fitness couple, Trisha and her boyfriend Ken. A former producer on the show, Sonny, created the highest act of girl code treason by marrying her former friend's Destiny's rebound boyfriend, Moses. But Sonny says they're not friends. Trisha and Ken were engaged, but Trish remains... wait a second. How are they engaged when Trish... All right, this article, you guys, it says Trisha and Ken are engaged. Did I miss the proposal? I must have missed the proposal, you guys. Trisha and Ken are engaged, but Trish remains married to her estranged husband, Marquez. The marital scandals proved over the top, but led to even more broken relationships on the show. The principal couple's dysfunction divorce set a tone for the series that has sent the show spiraling down a toxic path. Season 9 kicked off with Melody having Martel arrested because he threatened to release an old sex video from which they were married. So the people who are saying that this was a text message and that this wasn't a video, it was a screenshot, where are you? Even Marceau confirmed it was a video. Carson Blue confirmed it was a video. The side chick confirmed it was a video. So please stop saying it was just a text message. No. It was an actual sex tape. Even Marceau and Maurice's brother said that they saw the video. So while the cast is split down the middle with empathy for both sides lies, Melody decided to cut the rest of the women off because they didn't support her decision to have Martel arrested. Well, no, actually, Mel cut off the women a long time ago because they supported Martel in the divorce. A few months later, Maurice was arrested on DUI charges. Earlier this year, Destiny was arrested on suspicion of check fraud. I don't remember that being on the show. They kind of glossed over that arrest. Melody brought in 2 new friends on the show and swore loyalty to her and pointed out her disappointment with the behaviors of her castmates. Currently, there are no genuine friendships on the show, and the only completely intact marriage is STORMI and her husband COURTNEY, who are rumored to be leaving the show next season. So right here and there, Crystal Jordan is saying that the only stable couple is STORMI and COURTNEY. She's not even giving any type of, anything to Kimmy and Maurice or Tisha and Marceau, no matter how much Carlos King wants to push a different narrative. Carlos needs to recast Love and Marriage Huntsville to find cast without ties to Melody and Martel. Unlike some shows that are able to survive when a principal cast member leaves or transitions, Love and Marriage Huntsville was hung on the mantle that was Martel and Melody Holt. The demise of their marriage has had an undeniable ripple effect on the other marriages and friendships on the show. Without any cordial relationships in tow, it is doubtful the show will be able to move forward to multiple seasons without a serious recast, bringing in additional characters that don't rely on their connection to Melody and Martel. But whose fault is that? All these new cast members that have been brought in really have been ties to Martel as of late, and you brought back Destiny, who technically is all about Martel these days. You brought in Trish, who was Stormy's friend, but had former ties to Martel. So what is this about? So doubtful to be able to move forward multiple seasons without a serious recast, bringing in additional characters that don't rely on their connection to Melody or Martel. Most new cast members who were introduced by Melody, who ends up falling out with him after time, Carlos will need to bring in fresh new connections that don't have loyalty to either Melody or Martel, and have strong enough storylines to not need a connection to the Holts. Carlos has made 2 other series, spin-offs, in the Love and Marriage franchise that have managed to have more principal couples without relying on one couple as a definitive star on the show. Because of Love and Marriage Huntsville was the flagship of the series, he may have to totally deconstruct his initial model to recreate Huntsville with less toxic characters. Love and Marriage Huntsville is available to stream on Discovery Plus and airs every Saturday on OWN. Oh my gosh, I've got a lot to say. So, we've been saying for how long that the show needed to be revamped, the show needed to be recasted. We're all in agreement there. We're very much all in agreement, right? Here's the thing. I think the show would not be toxic had, when the divorce happened, like what they do on Housewives, the husband is removed from the show. We don't see the husband again, except for the tomfoolery that they're doing now on Married to Medicine, in which they brought back Quad's ex-husband, because now he is married, of course, to Sweet Tea. But typically, that is not the case. Typically, when the divorce happens on these shows about, quote-unquote, even though it's technically Housewives, it still shows you your family life as a spouse, as a parent, and so on and so forth. Usually, we don't see the husband after that. We do not see the husband after that unless it's a healthy co-parenting situation and what else, but it's very, 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 very rare. Very, 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 very rare. Or if they are dating another housewife is how they'll get back on the show. Shout out to, Apollo, who, even though he's not dating another housewife, the tie to Phaedra and all the other shenanigans, he's now going to be on Married to Medicine for some mess. But I'm saying all this to say that Carlos King, it's interesting because even Carlos King has admitted that Mel did not want this show to happen once she found out Martell was cheating and wanted to push back actually being on the show, filming the show, all of the things. Carlos King, it was you to convince Mel to air out this cheating, to air out this infidelity, that it would make for great TV, that there would be black women who'd be able to resonate with you and have empathy with you, and it would be showing how real and how raw you are and how authentic you are to expose your cheating husband, and then we can go on from there. Now, what Carlos King did not think through was that this was going to take over the entire show. And once the other couple saw that there was a blemish that could be exposed and magnified, they decided they were going to give sideline commentary and drop little tea here and there that they knew and had been known, despite claiming to be a friend of Mel's as well as Martell's, and basically covered for Martell's cheating and enabled the toxic behavior, enabled the shenanigans, right? So you avoided talking very minimal about your guys' personal lives once Mel and Tel's drama became the focus of the show. And it was the infidelity, it was, them briefly getting back together, then them breaking up for good, then it was an all-out smear campaign, and y'all sat there and watched, y'all sat there and said Martell is a good man, as if there is not all of these active court cases between Mel and Tel. I still do not understand how people are still defending Martell to this day for the simple fact that you hate Mel. It's crazy. Like, people are literally in screaming matches over Mel. But they're claiming, oh, no, we don't hate her. No. You don't start screaming for somebody that you claim to you don't hate, right? You don't just start screaming off of that. No. No, there are some deep-rooted issues here that it gets to the point that you are defending Martell and defending him and uplifting him and all of these things. But this was always going to be the problem. This is why reality shows don't have divorced couples on the show. Because it's too much tension, it's too much messiness, it's too much chaos. You should have had, Martell could have remained, with his producer check and not been on the show at all. But you like the toxic dynamic, and even for a hot minute, Carlos King was trying to push Mel and Tel to get back together, even after all of this nonsense happened. Because he realized that the show was not going in the direction it needed to go, and it was too much emphasis and too much focus on, again, such as we are in season 9, rehashing all of this old drama between Mel and Tel. And it seems to be a one-trick pony. So here's the thing. If you guys bring in new cast members, you're also going to have to get rid of more than just who you guys want to get rid of. Because if you think just getting rid of Mel is going to solve your issue, or getting rid of Mel and TEL is going to solve your issue, you've got another thing coming. Mel and her fan base and her millimeters is a huge demographic of this show. The problem was you guys continuing to entertain Martel's madness and thinking because he continued to disrespect and humiliate his ex-wife, the mother of 4 of his kids, that nothing was going to happen to y'all. And now all of a sudden that Martel is coming after y'all want to sit here and cry wolf. Y'all want to sit here and be all upset and claim that, you know, we don't know Mel, we don't know who she really is and who she is behind the scenes and da-da-da-da-da. Well, why don't you tell us? Because till this day, we have yet to see that exposed. And if Mel is the same as Martel, where are her charges? Where is her arrest? Where is her conviction, you guys? Like, please stop playing dumb and trying to play in people's face. But this article is just full of foolishness. Because, again, it's throwing shade at the Scotts directly. It is not even acknowledging them as a strong couple. They're basically saying STORMI and COURTNEY is the only strong marriage on the show. Shade to the Fletchers, shade to Scotts 1.0 and 2.0, and STORMI obviously is not coming back as of now onto the show. Also calling out Carlos King, because you tried to lump in the reason that Tiffany left the show, you tried to say it was because the fans, but that wasn't the case. It says right here regarding her mental health and some other things that had nothing to do with the fans. So again, and I like how it is left out of this article that also turned off fans the first half of this season, focusing on bashing and blaming the millimeters for all of these things, you guys. You guys are giving Mel supporters and millimeters way too much power. Can you please tell me how you can just call a business and get something removed off the shelf? I have never, ever heard that. Come on now. The only way products are going to get removed off the shelf, if you actually know and understand how business works and how you can have your things in stores, is if your things are not selling like they used to. That is how products get pulled. But if your stuff is selling and still making a profit, your stuff's not going to go anywhere. Nobody has the authority to just call and get stuff removed, you guys. And even with the stuff that y'all try to accuse Mel supporters and millimeters of, that they got Black with a QUE closed and all this other stuff, and that they're calling OSHA and all this other stuff. No. Because here's the thing, you guys. If you are running a establishment, right? And you're selling food, you're selling alcohol, you're selling all these things, you still have to undergo inspections. You have to pass the inspections, you guys. You have to pass the rules and regulations. You have to pass whatever else is going on. They already had said on the show that there was issues, that there were other merchants that were surrounding them, that was complaining about them, was complaining about the parking permit situation, and was complaining to the city officials. What millimeters know who the city officials are in Huntsville, Alabama, to make that call? And here is the thing, you don't have that type of power to shut it down, because that is going to be up to the people who inspect the business. But you guys are so obsessed with Mel and your hatred for her that you guys keep repeating these stories to make it true, but you guys do not understand how business works. You don't understand that nobody can just willy-nilly just call people and get stuff shut down. You're not that powerful. Everything has a process, you guys. There has to be checks and balances. You can't just get shut down because somebody doesn't like you on a reality show. Like, let's not be obtuse here. But nonetheless, this article is interesting because it comes out, of course, right before the episode in which yesterday Martel is airing out not just Marceau, but Tisha's catching strays. and trying to allude to her, being a 304 back in her college days or whatever else. And you got Destiny laughing. You got Destiny talking about, hey, we've constructed how we're going to air out this cheating and everything else. Where was Destiny to console Tisha when all of this was happening? She ran away. Once everything went left, she ran out of her own event. And Lance came after her after somebody had to remind him what part he was playing on the show. But please miss me with all of this other foolishness. You guys are orchestrating all of this negativity to focus on who is or isn't a side chick, who is or isn't cheating. You guys do not want a fun show. You guys do not want a show that is not toxic because you keep holding on to all this stuff. All you seem to understand is infidelity. And, whether it was Mel and Tel's drama, it has continued to trickle down to the rest of the cast. And it is exhausting. If Carlos King wanted to change the direction of the show, he would have a long time ago. He would have made sure Martel was gone the moment him and Mel got divorced. And basically said, this show is love and marriage, Huntsville. Y'all both can stay on, but if it's going to be toxic, if it's going to be messy, one of y'all are going to have to go. But instead, you just continue to allow the toxicity to continue and never put your foot down. And if anybody dares to complain and say that it's a toxic work environment and say black women are unprotected, next thing you know, you get a smear campaign ran on you by the cast. And get accused of all these allegations that I have yet to see receipts for. Because to me, showing receipts of comments or things from Facebook groups, the same Facebook groups that Kimmy and Marceau frequent and leave dissertations to, no. You're going to have to give me something better than that. You're going to have to give me something better than that is hardcore. You've got Mel on audio. You've got Mel saying flat out X, Y, and Z. And there are zero receipts to support any of that. The bottom line is y'all dislike Mel. You are upset that she leveled up after her divorce. You were expecting her to need Martel because you guys, the cast, was begging Mel and Tel to stay together even through the cheating because you guys wanted to continue to eat off of it. You guys you wanted to eat off of their drama so you didn't have to expose yours. And now that Mel has told y'all to clock in, you're pissed off about it. And you're still trying to mail it in and not give anything. And it's not going to work. But don't blame Mel for that. Y'all ate off of her and Martel's drama for 9 seasons. But don't get pissed now that the tables have turned. You knew Martel was going to do this. If he was doing this to Mel, why did you think this was going to be exempt from you? But it's just funny now. Now people are like, oh, the show needs to be revamped. We've been saying for the past few years the show needed revamped and needed recasted because we knew where this was heading. We said a long time ago that Martel, when he ran out of options, he was going to turn on the Scotts and they were going to come for each other. We said that. And we said there was going to be a point if Martel and Mel couldn't get their co-parenting situation together, bleep was going to hit the fan. And here we are. But y'all said, no, y'all got it all wrong. Mel's the issue, da-da-da-da-da. Well, who was the one that had the most scathing allegations this last episode? Who was the one calling people 304s, saying that they could have had somebody else's wife too, and they apparently saw somebody else's wife getting busy with their friend somewhere? Who said that? Because it wasn't Mel. It wasn't Mel. But somehow she keeps getting brought up. She keeps, you have to make her the focal point or blame the millimeters for something, and it is exhausting. Tell the rest of y'all to tell your truths on the show. Stop giving like these little off the cuff, hey, we might have broken up, for a little bit, but we decided to get back together and then scene. No. Explain to the people, explain to the audience, what do you mean you almost broke up? You almost got a divorce. Why wasn't that shown? But y'all drug out every nook and cranny of Mel and Tel's issues. So please miss me now with the fake outrage. Please miss me now. Oh, it's not fair that the cast is getting dragged. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, this is the same cast that has dragged Mel for 9 seasons. No? This is the same show where Tisha's mom and Marceau and Maurice's brother continue to bash Mel and her mom 24/7. And Stormy's mom continues to bash Mel 24/7. So please miss me with the fake outrage, you guys. Please miss me with it, because if you were going to be the bigger person and the mature person, you would not respond. But you know that talking about Mel gets you the attention and the clout and the clicks and the views that you are seeking, so you continue to do it. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.